timer has begun. Day 61. Never thought that hip hop would make it this far. All right, what do we got here? All right, so what are we at? We're at chapter 59, actually. And we're up to page 474 out of 667. And this is day 61. God damn. Whew. Who da who? Let's send that to the channel. Set our old topic. Let everybody know there's an editing happening for all the peoples in the world right there. And let me see. People all over the world. There we go. Let them know. And boom, science fiction editing stream. So much. Let me see. Yeah, I think Spathywah, his car broke down. I don't know. I don't see old logic there. So it may just be us on this editing stream. And by us, I mean me. Wonder if one of the notifiers broke or something like that. Or potentially people just got bored of watching maybe the most boring thing that I can imagine, which is the editing of a novel over a period of, I can't believe it's 61 days so far. It's a long ass time, man. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody just, it's Spoke sent this. Spoke said, she said, I'm also a coder, which isn't the same truth for any of you. Most of you are none of these qualities, but you're on IRC talking about soft shit. This is inflation of the dick sword ways. You have too many bitch-made niggas who want to be the chef of pot when they aren't even close to the main ingredient. That's a serious copy paste happening there. Inflation of the dick sword ways. Chef of the pot when they aren't even close to the main ingredient. God damn. All right. Well, if I don't have the editing crew, we're not going to go back over chapter 58, but we are going to update the chapter count so that we know that we're working on 59. Yeah, that chapter needs a second pass. I shouldn't have squandered my editors when I had him there. Like, now that they're gone, I wish I told them how much they mattered. No, but really and truly, that chapter is one where I'd love to get another perspective. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, man, my life would be so much easier if I had one or two women in the stream that would just fill me in. Anytime somebody had to be like, hey, vaginas don't actually work that way, guy. Like, what are you doing? But I digress. Also, there's no one. It's like, oh, Spathywah has no meetings today. Spathy, good to see you. We're gonna go back over chapter 58 then. It's holy shit. All right, let me give you the background. So this is the first chapter of day 4. As you may recall, Carl Mason got clonked over the back of the head with his own he got glocked and rocked and has a serious concussion. And I guess the drama surrounding Carl Mason so far is that he's like kind of nervous about the whole teleporting thing. Like, gets out of each teleport like, what happened to me? And this is where you get to see sort of where he's going. So let me just read through it. This is Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady by Zak Zyz. Read by the author. Day 4, 4.1, Thursday, October 11th, 6:24 a.m. Chelsea. Would this be Chelsea, though? Yeah, I think this is before they closed down St. Mary's. So I think he would have actually gone to Chelsea from It's weird. I don't know where the police send their injured. Maybe they have their own hospital or something. Oh, this opening paragraph, that's the whole chapter right there. Yeah, it's that weird for about 3 pages straight, and I need an outside perspective to know if it's just weird for its own sake or whatever. So let's get to it. Carl Mason's eyes open, and he doesn't like what he sees. So he opens them again. The same thing happens. Carl opens his eyes again and again, never closing them. Each time the lids peel open, they reveal a new set of eyes. Oh yeah, that's... I think almost every time that I type again and again, I wind up cutting it. Wait, oh wait, we've got a Dwayne. So Dwayne sent us in a quote, or Spathywa sent us in a quote from Dwayne. Dwayne says, "You kids are so dull it makes me wonder if the planet makes 100 years. So fucking dumb it makes the ice cream truck look like a hero." Huh. That's a profound statement. What the fuck do you think he means by the ice cream truck look like a hero? Is he saying that somebody as relatively pedestrian as an ice cream truck driver is heroic in comparison to these IRC chatters? Or does he actually, he thinks that they're so mongoloid that they think the ice cream truck itself is a superhero, some kind of fucking Autobot transformer spraying everybody with hot white vanilla. Mmm. With that chocolate fudge. Carl Mason's eyes open, and he doesn't like what he sees, so he opens them again. The same thing happens. He opens them a third time. Oh, yeah, it's not an improvement. Yeah, it's... Again and again, they never close. Each time the lids peel open, they reveal a new set of eyes. His old selves slide away in sheaves. Okay, that's better. Carl's lids. Each time his eyelids peel open. That's better. Yeah. That quote can be a semester topic for all lit majors. You know, the planet doesn't actually make any years, as far as I'm concerned. Or does it actually? Yeah, I guess it does make the years, now that we think about it, because like the way that we're tracking it by the Earth's rotation around the sun. So the planet is the actual object creating the years via its rotation. Yeah, just the deeper you go, the more profound it gets. Let's see. So he opens them again. The same thing happens. Again. Oh, yeah, we need again and again there. So actually, one of the reasons why you'll see again and again so much is I really like it as a phrase. And just because if you think about it as a unit of words, there's a little bit of recursion in there, again and again. And it also reminds me of like this Queens of the Stone Age song I like. But in writing... this is a little bit better. All right, so Carl Mason's eyes open, and he doesn't like what he sees. We could say when Carl Mason's eyes open, he doesn't like what he sees. Nah, that... Carl Mason's eyes open. Yeah, I think the comma there. Carl Mason's eyes open, and he doesn't like what he sees. Carl Mason's eyes open. He doesn't like what he sees. So he opens them again. Same thing happens. Again and again, they never close. Each time his eyelids peel open, they reveal a new set of eyes. His old selves slide away in sheaves. All right. Yeah, like I like that a little bit better. So, yeah, my criticism of this chapter was that you had to be on drugs to enjoy it. So Spathiowa said that this was fine when we started. I think it's a little bit more tuned now. I'm gonna put that hand back there. Yeah. Yeah. With each blinking rebirth, Carl sheds his face. His lips split apart like soft clay, and the mask melts as a new face. Yeah. With each blinking rebirth, Carl sheds his face. His lips split like soft clay, and the mask melts away as a new face emerges beneath it. I feel like we're missing a comma in there somewhere. Where's Logic when I need him? A new body emerges from the husk. Carl turns backward to see a snaking chain of selves stretching back into infinity. Just a comma before end. You think under mask melts away? Oh, before and. Yeah. All right, with each blinking rebirth, Carl sheds its face. His lips split like soft clay, and the mask melts away as a new face emerges beneath it. A new body emerges from the husk. Carl turns backward to see a snaking chain of selves stretching back into infinity. He screams. The scream becomes a duet, then a trio. More lagged voices build until there's a great chorus of screaming selves echoing him. I love former Carls. Fucking Infinite Carl. This is why we write science fiction novels, so that we can have infinite Carls. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I like just do commas by feel. It never made any fucking sense to me. So only Logic understands that shit. It's something to do with dependent clauses and subject, and I don't know. I should know this. It'd save myself so much time if I just sat. I'm gonna sit down and do another chapter on commas in my fucking learn the English perfecto. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not 100% on his lips split like soft clay. His lips split down the center like soft clay. The mask melts away as a new face emerges beneath it. Oh, no, that's not good. No. He screams. The scream becomes a duet, then a trio. More lag voices build. He screams. The scream becomes a duet, then a trio. More lag voices join until there's a great chorus of screaming former Carls. The sound builds into a rumbling The sound builds into a howl fit to split the sky. Oh, that's awful. Oh, you remember this pure black void from Gravid? The sound builds into a howl that could split the sky. But there is no sky here. Only a pure black void. No, no, no! Carl claps his still molting hands over his trail of mouths, and the end. Oh, more. Oh, shit, we got big meep sheep there. Yeah, I actually slept comparatively well last night, too, man. I don't know what I was. Let's see. Screaming. Oh, cool. You're at the Meep family right. Yeah, I'm glad you got out of that situation, man. Anybody who's doing creepy stalkery shit, gotta get out of there. Uh, 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 I have hundreds of viable weed seeds. I'm gonna be sprinkling around here. Yeah, I'm glad as fuck. Yeah, honestly, like, save your viable seeds, and why don't you just set up like a hydro operation, Meep? Like, you ain't working at the moment, right? Yeah, just take one of the rooms in your new place and set it up for hydro. You know, fucking do something. Make something of yourself. Wait, is that super duper illegal? Don't do that if it's illegal. Only do if it's legal to grow the dankish kush in your jurisdiction. He screams. Well, there is no sky here. Only a pure black void. Carl claps his still molting hands over his trail of mouths. Yeah, Meep, we're this is like essentially a bad drug trip chapter. So if you're high as fuck, just worry out. The emptiness cuts through him. The emptiness cuts, a blade of absolute silence. There are no air molecules rattling against his tympanic membrane, because there is no air here. There's no blood thundering in his temples, because he has no pulse. There's no blood drumming in his temples because he has no pulse. Where am I? A new set of eyes open, and Carl can resolve the subtle outlines of hills. He begins to perceive a forest of abstract forms surrounding him, razor-thin lines of shimmering color that blooms in tree-like fractals. Razor-thin lines of shimmering colors that bloom into tree-like fractals. Oh shit. Who is AAAPP for L? Is that lit up? Why didn't Star Trek do this with Picard and the Energizer beam? The only movie that I've ever seen that tries to do anything with like four-dimensional time trails is like Donnie Darko, that like pulse thing that like flies out of his chest and so forth. But here it's much more like just having a there's some film effects, you know, the like effect where the infinite tunnel effect that you get when you're like fucking around with cameras on cameras. So no, I'm AAA. So it's either lit up. Oh, it's AAA from yeah, I know AAA. He or she is a proud patron. So shout out to AAA. Thank you for joining in our whole deal. A new set of eyes open, and Carl can resolve the subtle outlines of hills. He begins to perceive a forest of abstract forms surrounding him. Razor-thin lines of shimmering color bloom into... Yeah, let's check out the word "that" there. Ooh, I love the sound of that. Yeah, that's the one thing that I always like the sound of Echo Park. It always seemed like that park should be so much cooler. A new set of eyes open, and Carl can resolve the subtle outlines of hills. He begins to perceive a forest. He becomes aware of a forest. He becomes aware of the forest of abstract forms surrounding him. Razor-thin lines of shimmering color bloom into tree-like fractals. The echo forest spreads outward in radiating arcs. The branches bear spiraling fruit that draw him closer with the promise of continually The echo forest spreads outward in radiating arcs. The branches of the fractal trees bear spiraling fruit that draw his gaze with the promise of continually increasing complexity. Ooh. Yeah, this is our polyhurt chapter right here. No, don't look. Yeah, don't look. Without a living body, fear is just an abstract. Without a living body, fear is just an abstract. The emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death that may no longer be relevant. The emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death, which may no longer be relevant. So he's trying to say, like, maybe I've already died. And this is the fucked up Beetlejuice afterlife. Carl heeds the warning, and past the hypnotic fruits he can see a face looking back at him. Glittering dragonfly eyes, two long limbs and flicking tails. Long black snaking instances that have wound up the tree in a helix, terminating in this alien beast. Let's see. So the emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death, which may no longer be relevant. Um, yeah, it's like quite a divergence. Well, it's not a divergence, but it's a big leap from what I intend to what I'm saying right there. And in general, like I don't ask readers to make like a lot of big leaps. So if you can think of a better way to say that. We could say which may no longer matter. Yeah, maybe that's better. It might not be relevant anymore. What do you think? We could try. The emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death. It may not be. It might not be relevant any longer. It may no longer be relevant. Yeah, I like. It may no longer be relevant. Yeah. Carl heeds the warning. Carl heeds the warning anyway. Whew. Begins to make out a face staring back at him. It isn't human. Glittering dragonfly eyes, two long limbs, and flicking tails. Avoid death, but okay, so Spathywell says when you use a comma to join clauses, you need a conjunction. Um, I don't know. I like stylistically, I feel like we do that all over this book. We cut out conjunctions, which is I think that may be a style choice. Let's try it both ways. The emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death, but it may no longer be relevant. The emotion is a remnant of his desire to avoid death. Yeah. I don't like it with but. Let's get past that guy right there. Uh, yeah, I don't have a good resolution for that whole thing, and I like it in there. It's not something that I just want to cut out. But yeah, let's just not get stuck on it for now, because this whole chapter is kind of like a I'll tell you what's fucking happening here. Is that yeah, it's unfortunately too hot for me right now. So give me a second. Let me turn on some air conditioning. Not the score. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's how it's got to be right there. Okay, so mhm. Uh-huh. Yeah, we should Okay, so Carl freezes. A set of glittering dragonfly eyes watch him. Spindly, segmented limbs move in a dance of echoes, supporting a sleek cat-like body with many twitching tails. Carl's eyes follow the monster's trails. So, let's try that again. A set of glittering dragonfly eyes watch him. Spindly, segmented limbs move in a dance of echoes. Preparing to pounce. Okay, so let's move this up. There. Whew. Is it seductive or hypnotic? Let's not go with seductive in this instance. But Yeah. That's I feel like that's pretty cliche. Behind it is a weaving mess of tales, too many to count. Carl's eyes are caught in its echoes, a snaking helix of instances that wind around the trunk of the fractal tree. Yeah, I like that. Above him, the mantis cat crouches low, preparing to pounce. Let's just call it a displacer up here. Yeah, it's weird to give it a name. Yeah, like, and I don't like the idea of, oh, we'll just, like, oh, he inherently knows that it's a displacer. Like, we're gonna call it a displacer. Um, uh, yeah, let's call it. The displacer's body is sleek and cat-like. Its claws are so they're just like our narrator is kind of like filling you in. This is a displacer, and this is just what I'm fucking calling it right here. It's not like we need to know. There's not like a whole race of these things that are gonna. This is just for this one chapter and just for. Seeing he's been enthralled, the displacer crouches low, preparing to pounce. Is hunting. This is an ambush. Carl's eyes are caught in its echoes, a snaking helix of instances that wind around the trunk of the fractal tree to its hunting perch. It's waiting. Yeah, that's what I want. This is an ambush. Yeah. Carl can't escape. He's trapped in the facets of the segmented dragonfly eyes. Yeah, I think we were both moving towards the same spot. I'm going to give you a point anyway, because that actually was quite helpful to me in coming to that conclusion. Carl needs... yeah. Yeah, none of those track quite right to me. Carl must flee, Carl needs to flee, Carl ought to flee. Bu. So, this is a spot where, you know, is this like an astral plane where you're propelled by will alone? Because, like, he has no pulse, there's no sound, or there's no air. Like, the sounds are carrying without air in the spot, because this is like a sort of, you know what I'm fucking talking about here. But, Carl is trapped in the infinite segments of the dragonfly. Yeah, facets is better than segments. Okay. Carl is trapped in the infinite facets of the dragonfly eyes. The displacer opens its puckered asshole of a mouth. It's hypnotizing him before it pounces. Run. Whew. Yeah, I do like the weirdness of this segment. Um, Initially, a lot of yesterday, I was like, "Can we put this in this book? Is this just too fucking weird and far out for the rest of the narrative?" But I'm really digging now that we're putting like a little bit of tune-up work into it. I'm really digging how fucking far out this segment is, um, and I feel like if we're gonna introduce a character who is like teleporting potentially through like different planes of reality or dimensions, um, it's worth our while to go really far out and just have some shit where the reader's just like, what the fuck? Because my theory is if that there are infinite planes and infinite dimensions and so forth, some of them are going to be real fucking weird, and why go to one of the boring ones? You know what I'm saying? He's had the perspective all wrong. The fractal trees are as tall as buildings. The rolling hills are vast mountains. The hills behind them are towering mountains. He's nothing here. I really like that individual atoms line. All right, let's work on that paragraph. It's too late. The displacer leaps with its claws raised and its maw spread impossibly wide. Let's see. Tunnel maw. Yeah. Oh, I like that a little better. The displacer pounces with its claws raised to rend and its maw spread to devour. Let's call it flared. Like it's a nostril. And its maw flared to devour. There's something wrong with time. Okay. It's too late. The displacer pounces with its claws raised to rend and its maw flared to devour. There's something wrong with time. The moment is stretching into an eternity. Carl realizes his perspective is wrong. Carl realizes his perspective is completely wrong. The displacer is 10 times his size. The fractal trees are The displacer is 10 times bigger than he thought. The fractal trees are taller than buildings. The hills behind them are He's nothing here, less than an ant. That fractal trees sentence is a run-on. Let's take a look. The displacer is 10 times bigger than he thought. The fractal trees are taller than buildings. Alien Horizon. Ooh, I do like Alien there. The Alien Horizon. Different galaxies too much. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it doesn't work. As distant as the stars. Carl is nothing. The fractal trees are taller than buildings. The horizon is incomprehensibly remote. Carl is nothing. I like that. Unfathomably. Here, hold on. I do kind of like fathomably. Yeah. I like incomprehensibly remote, but the horizon is unfathomably remote. That sounds a little clunky, but I think it's a little better there. Chrono keeps flooding off. I wonder what he's up to. Probably some Chrono type shit. Haroof. Alright. Yeah. Oh, yo. I wanted to make it inconceivably remote, but also we could do impossibly remote. Yeah, let's just do unfathomable. Unfathomably remote. Carl is nothing. I love this individual atoms thing. All he can do is reach for his gun. The bullets are as insignificant to the displacer as individual atoms. Also rooted in scale and distance. Yeah, I think it's the best that we can do right there. I'm not a hundo on it, but I think it's an improvement. Yeah, big improvement on this guy. God, tough chapter. So potentially, and his last panic thought is of his bathroom. So yeah, here, it would be good to go back and establish some specific detail in the bathroom that he could like focus on. And in fact, I think that's a good idea overall. What's a specific item that he could have in his bathroom that would be like the focal point for his teleportation? Be like a fucking shaving kit. Oh, what's the... let me see. Hold on, let me look at this somewhere else, because I don't want to ruin this story for anybody else. Plunger, mirror. Hold on. Yeah. Let's take a look at... Okay. So, at the ending of Barton Fink, there is a sort of picture of a woman staring out at the beach with an umbrella over her there. That's a little specific to try and shoehorn into this fucking thing here. The psycho shower curtain. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I wonder what kind of music. Because it could be like a band poster that he's got hung up on the far wall across from his toilet. So that opens up. That actually fits like a little bit better. All right. So what type of music? Is it like a Phil Collins poster, like a Huey in the News? Fucking Huey Lewis. Who would this? What kind of band poster would Carl Mason have hung up? So he's in New York, so it could be like the fucking Strokes. It'd be a concert poster. Nudie Mags, Dolly Parton. And it should be something kind of profound and specific to, because this is like a big character-defining moment right there. What does he listen to? It's probably not an NWA poster. So it would be a show that played at the Meadowlands. And like maybe hold on. Let's see. No, apparently it could be Outcast. Did they ever play the Meadowlands? Hold on. Whoa. It could be a fucking movie poster for The Fly. Uh, yeah, what is Carl super into fucking horror movies? An NYPD calendar. It could be like a never forget fucking thing. What's this song about? Yeah, so this should be an iconic song about let me see. Yeah. Let me see. It's gonna be John Denver. Yeah, that's who we like. That's the kind of shit that Carl Mason listens to. Uh, Car- Let's see if this exists. All right, so this we can do. Yeah, I'm not spoiling a fucking. Okay, so no, actually, John Denver doesn't quite fit. They can listen to John Denver. No, John Denver actually has a Meadowlands named after him here. Detective cheat sheet exam. So I think it's gonna be like the poster for a concert, and something that would reveal something about his character. And if it's tied into teleportation, that would be fucking dope. Um, Wait, who's saying? Okay, yeah, there we go. It's fucking. Let's see. All right, so now we've got to go back. Um, so it's going to be a poster of the Doors, and so yeah, where are we at here? We're at page 471. Boom. A lot of bathrooms in here. I really like the addition of the poster. Oh, I like okay, cool. Ugh. Huh. I mean Jim Morrison. The one in my bathroom is The Doors, 1968 at the New York. Yeah. I like staring at Jim. What? Who's Jim? Oh, Jim Morrison. Cool. That's like such a lot of work to introduce this little penny ante detail. But now we can go back to the other scenes where it is, and he can focus on Jim. So that means that we need to tune up this other chapter. That seems like a tiny fucking detail. But I like also the parallel that it has with Thirsty's grandmother, where her walls are covered with pictures of just rando celebrities. Carl Mason is one where we really just do not have almost any details about who he is as a person at all. So every little piece that we can shoehorn in here is worth our while. So the doors at the New York Roth. Yeah, I'm just going to copy that so I can remember it. Yeah, thank you for your patience. Very best of the doors. Oh, that one of Jim Morrison pointing his fist at you or whatever. Nah, this would just be like a random concert photo. Because it would be, you know, honestly, like, if he's just a fan of the Doors and has a picture of a shirtless Jim Morrison chilling in his bathroom, that says something very different about Carl Mason. That I don't want to, like, put in there without it being, like, a very deliberate decision to make him a homosexual. Just putting it out there. Yeah, that's not appropriate there. Because it fucks up, I like that little Jim. Occupado. Cool. Would the pat to keep that from happening, comma. Yeah. Yeah, that does need to be a comma there. Cool. Yeah, we just took out Led Zeppelin, so there are no points to be had there, but you do get a point for that comma. So brave of him to intersect junk with his teleportation for an ability he doesn't really control. Yeah, and I got both Kitchen and Led Zeppelin before you could get to it, but you do get the whole thing there. Carl's idea is that if he makes it impossible to teleport back into his bathroom, maybe he'll appear at his target instead. Or maybe he'll pop up in the bathroom anyway and choke to death with an old pair of socks that have phased into his lungs. Shoutouts to RoboCop right here. I forgot that we added this edit there. The Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. Carl's idea is that if he makes it impossible to teleport back into his bathroom, maybe he'll appear at his target instead. Or perhaps he'll pop up in the bathroom anyway, then choke to death on an old pair of socks phased into his lungs. Dead or alive, you're coming with me, Carl whispers. I love that. That's such a goofy fucking thing. Would I buy an ARM Mac? They broke 32-bit stuff, and it's clear that they won't address. Yeah, they're just not doing anything 32-bit. Like if you need 32-bit, you're fucked. But honestly, I don't use anything 32-bit, so I don't really care. Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying that you can't play Flappy Bird anymore, I guess. So somebody just said, "Oh, what if this was the poster?" And then they played an ASCII of Goatsy, and I would love it if that was the poster. Like it could just be like the Fanged Vortex is actually Goatsy from the next scene that we're at. Yeah, that'd be dope. But okay, cool. So bathroom. Okay, cool. So we did foreshadow this. This didn't used to be here, right? This is something that we added to the rewrite to Cool. Schema of such blah 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 blah. Circuit is completed. I forget what page we were on, so we're just gonna have to zip over. I think it's like 479 or something. Cool. So we've done, and like before I started thinking about it, I was like, I'll push that off and do it later. But we just went ahead and did it now, which is always the right thing for me to do. I should never like put off changes. Oh, fuck me. I tell you what I did do is I just broke. Oh no. Yeah. Here, let's go. Boom. So we made some changes, right? When we make those changes, we break our chapter spacing, because I don't, like I'm an idiot and I don't use chapter end or section ending. So, which I really should do. Yeah, see, so that's why. See, it breaks into this whole fucking thing. So we just gotta fix chapter 39. No, not fixing it with Occupado. So, and like all our page counts get fucked up then. And this doesn't even matter, because He's taking down the poster of Jim Morrison. Okay, so this is the other place where we made a change. Yeah, see, so that breaks that there. So it doesn't really matter because when we format this, it's going to be all different. But Carl panics, thinking of Jim Morrison. Okay. They're going to break 86 to 64 in a couple years too. Yeah, they'll just keep fucking doing that. Like, all the legacy stuff is just not going to work anymore. And that's how it is. So, yeah, Jupiter, I love, it has been literally like 2 or 3 months since Dark Mage just chatted in our IRC, and people still talking about him all the time. I think if I fucking left, people would talk about me less than they talk about Dark Mage. It's my channel, man. Oh. Oh. No, don't fucking zoom out like that. Bullshit ass. I like that the key to teleportation is thinking about Jim Morrison. And if you want to know why I picked the doors, it's really stupid. But one, because doors, like he's essentially traveling through portals to different dimensions or teleporting. And two, because they have the song Break On Through to the Other Side. How bad is that? Oh, that's awful. That's fucking atrocious. They announced a Rosetta thing to transmogrify x86 to ARM. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Apple is doing there, but like they're... Honestly, it's really difficult to justify buying a new Mac at the moment right now. Their keyboards are still fucking atrocious. Their performance is awful compared to everything else. Adobe functions just as fine. Like most people are over on the Adobe suite. It functions 10 times better on the hardware that you're going to get if you just plonk down the thousands of dollars on the alternate deal on like a brand new PC. Like for like about $5,000, you can put together something that will just fucking obliterate the iMac Pro, which is like their most workplacey offering right now. It's annoying. So, oh yeah, I'm trying to think of how I can embezzle the school into. I have a mid 2015 MacBook Pro that still runs really well. Right here, this is a mid 2015 MacBook Pro that we do all the editing on because that was the last one of their keyboards that was worth a peasant's piss, for want of a better term. And yeah, I'm a fucking, you know, I have to deal with these things every single day. And I will tell you that the 2017 beyond Macs are just garbage. Even the brand new ones, the like 2019 Macs where they're like, oh, we got a new keyboard for you guys. Those keyboards are dog shit compared to like the 2015 ones. Really and truly, like, I don't know why they would have like a decent keyboard and just fuck it up so dramatically. And it's not like they're more resistant to spills or whatever there. And like, yo, the other part of it, like you break that keyboard, guess what, buddy? A whole upper logic board gotta go. Because that's a good way to design machines. The like most vulnerable interface. You can't just swap it out. You gotta replace the entire fuck. It's garbage. Shouts to Louis Rossman. Telling it like it is on these handkerchief heads. Carl panics, thinking of Jim Morrison. Carl panics, thinking of Jim Morrison. I like that. So we went to all that effort right there. All that, like, you know, looking up a thing and everything, just so that we could have this kind of gimmick here for one line in the thing. But we tell you a little bit more about Carl. Now he's got a quirk. Now he likes concert posters. Oh, I like that Pump Miss ASCII that I can't tell. Oh, I think Spoke just linked it right there. But it's a very beautiful Christmas tree in the background. Like a roaring fire. I don't know what the... there's like a Space Invaders poster over the Merry Pumpmas thing, so I don't know what that is. But the gun is gone. Carl panics, thinking of Jim Morrison. Out! So, that also reminds me... He's lost in the other world again. Yeah, I like that. They need to start a fat laptop variant so we can get what we want. A stable OS with a usable keyboard and good thermals. Yeah, the thermals are shit. Holy fuck. And like it's just like a bunch of them where they'll, and you can't even like really blast them out with canned air that well. They're just fucking garbage, man. And you compare that to like the problems that although I'll tell you, like Lenovo's have not been fantastic either. Like especially their Wi-Fi drivers. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Like their 17-inch models are just garbage, or 15-inch, I think, for whatever reason, just constant problems with wireless. But, but, we have a chapter to edit there. Okay, and so then he recognizes where he's at. It's the other world of his failed teleportation. I'm so glad that I foreshadowed this. I had forgotten that I foreshadowed, like, hey, if you fuck up teleporting, this is where you land up. I like how creepy his teleportation has gotten to. Let's try and finish out of the chapter. This is an ambush. Oh, fuck, something changed. Oh, okay, yeah, the change was put in by me. Okay. Carl is forced at it. Let's make this, we call it Otherworld here, but then we call it Netherworld there. He's lost in the failed jump Netherworld again. Does failed jump work for you? Because it doesn't work for me. He's lost in... Yeah, let's just call it the Netherworld. I love Netherworld. Should out be in an alien font? No, it's not the alien. Throwing him out of there. Although, I think in the original edit of this, there was a lot of that you shouldn't be here type drug paranoia thing. Yeah, yeah, this is still Carl being like, out. It's not the alien. And I see exactly where you're coming from, where it seems like it's the alien being, but it wouldn't have any kind of language. There'd be like no interaction between the two of them. They wouldn't understand each other at all. Like its only desire is to devour him. My MO. Yeah, it's a predator. And my coffee's kicking in too. Carl is forced out of the netherworld, squeezed through a pinpoint in space. He squeezed through a pinpoint in space and shit back into the world, screaming. Ooh, that's a rough image right there. Carl is forced out of the netherworld. Let's change this up a little bit. Shat is not better. Yeah, I mean, Shat just, it makes it too funny. Yeah. jumps. The circuit completes. Oh, shoutouts to, speaking of, when we were talking about just a stable OS. This fucking piece of garbage. Oh, I swear to God. I wonder if, oh well. God, if I have to redo those fucking edits, I'm just gonna quit for the day. It may be, so, just because this is happening in two different files, it's happening on two separate machines, right? We can conclude that there's probably some corruption within the document. Maybe corruption, maybe like a formatting issue or something like that that's causing it to fuck up in iCloud. Also, hold on, do we have, yeah, we still got Wi-Fi. Test. Okay, yeah, so we still have Wi-Fi. With smaller testing, we would show fewer cases. God, why do they keep bothering about that? It's true. You know, who gives a shit? Yeah. God, people focus on that idiot so much. Oh, yeah, we gotta kill the process. That's annoying. All right, what page were we on? Oh, we can't even get back to it because it's fucking hard locked. Yeah, ignore. Fucking Apple. Swear to God. It's called Pages, not Reams. Why do we always hop to this spot also? And like page 4. That's where the file always opens. Alright. 479. Go to this page. It has to repaginate the entire fucking thing. Oh yeah, we're a little bit further behind. What the fuck? No. Oh God. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, we lost a fair bit of progress there. Jim Morrison, Jim Braskell. Jim Morrison. Okay, so we fixed that. Okay, and let's just make sure that our spacing is right. So 42 is right. I could have really done without that shit. Yeah. Yeah, if you can get a screenshot of the fuck, yeah, cases alone are a pretty useless metric. Honestly, if you want my opinion, it's time to just fucking just say, all right, we've done what we can. Just fucking start over. And sorry, a lot of you people are gonna have to die, starting with you, Zak Zyz. You're the first. And just start executing people. That's the only sensible way to go here. So I can't go to the replay, but I would love to know what the paragraph that we were working on here. But the gun is gone. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can work it out with the fucking. I gotta do this shit. All right. Yeah, maybe I can get it back from the replay. There we go. There we go. But the gun is gone. Cool. Thinking of Jim Morrison. Wow, that's actually kind of cool to be able to zip zap zop my ass back out of there. Let me fix that. Now we fixed it. Okay, so yeah, it was actually way easier than I thought it would be to roll back to there without fucking up everything. The circuit completes. The circuit completes and Carl is forced out of the netherworld. He's squeezed through a pinpoint in space and shipped back into the world screaming. The displacer is still there, aflame with white light. Carl's hand wrenches at his hip, looking for his gun, but there's only the sound of ripping fabric, a swatch of paper gown in his hand. Carl blinks and there's no rebirth. He has a heartbeat again. Oh yeah, okay. So that's a pretty abrupt transition from creepy netherworld to what the fuck. The paper gown is where you're like, oh, he's in the hospital, obviously. The circuit completes and Carl is forced out of the netherworld. He's squeezed through a pinpoint in space and shipped back into... the prime material plane? Real world? Is squeezed through a pinpoint in space and shipped back into his own world, screaming in pain. And shipped back into his own world, screaming. The displacer is still there, aflame with white light. Carl's hand wrenches at his hip, looking for the gun, but there's only the sound of ripping fabric. Carl wrenches at his hip, looking for his gun, but there's only the sound of ripping fabric. A swatch of torn... Yeah, oh, that's awful. Oof. A shred of paper gown in his hand. Carl blinks and there's no rebirth. Uh... Yeah. Oh, I got so much fucking work to do today. It's like, oh, weighing on my mind as I'm trying to work through this here edit. Yeah, after the edit, I'm gonna hop on a bicycle and go to the grocery store. So I got enough work to do. Got to pick some stuff up, and and then tomorrow I gotta go maybe into Manhattan. Yeah, it's just tough times in New York City, but I haven't done any actual work for weeks and weeks. All right, let me step up and walk around, and be right back. All right, let's fucking focus on editing. I like the flame more than mass. Yeah. Well, also we describe it as a flame. Carl lets go of the shred of hospital gown and it flutters to the floor. He brings his hand to his aching head. It's swaddled in a crown of bandages. Carl can't understand. He must have brain damage. Then Carl realizes the doctor is speaking in Chinese. How far did I jump? Oh, so I lost track of at first Like he's afraid that he like teleported to fucking China, uh, which is so dumb. But yeah, that's the gimmick that we were working there. How far did I jump? So mass doesn't imply a constantly changing shape to spaithiwa. I'd say it's more fluid than like a word like clump or something like that. But yeah, we'll have to roll with it. All right. Carl tries to sit upright, but the doctor chatters and presses his shirt. Wait. Oh, that's the. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. The white flame looming over him isn't the displacer. It's a doctor's coat. That doctor is holding up his palms, trying to get Carl to stay still. He brings that hand to his aching head and finds it swaddled in a crown of bandages. Better. The doctor is talking to him and he can't understand the words. He must have brain damage. Then Carl realizes the doctor is speaking in Chinese. How far did I jump? Carl tries to sit upright and the doctor seems alarmed. He presses Carl's shoulders back against the bed. Not hard, but every motion hurts. He's breathing. He has a heartbeat again. He's breathing and he has a heartbeat again. Okay, cool. Hold on, let's see. And Carl, let's go with a shred of fabric. It flutters to the floor. He brings that hand to his aching head and finds it swaddled in a crown of bandages. See, this is what you were talking about before. He's breathing, comma, he has a heartbeat again. It works better with the conjunction there and not... let me see. This is better though. He brings that hand to his aching head and finds it swaddled in a crowd of bandages. That's better. It's just better than the comma way. Carl pushes the doctor away and tries to get to his feet. It's a terrible mistake. It's a terrible mistake. Vertigo crashes between his ears like a cymbal. Carl can't stay on his feet. He falls to the hospital. Yeah. It's like fucking redundant, you know. Carl falls onto the cold hospital floor and vomits. The pain makes him sob and sputter. The doctor's hand thumps between his shoulder blades to keep him from choking. You have a concussion. Please be still. Let's take a look at, let me give you some points. 1, 2, 3 for those last few things. And then... so... Carl collapses onto the cold hospital floor and vomits. The doctor's hand thumps between his shoulder blades when he starts to choke. You have a concussion. Please be still, the doctor advises. well, let's the sputter should be at the end of which sentence? I like that, yeah. That's good at it. Yeah, I like that. Makes it odd. The pain makes him sob. The doctor's hand thumps between his shoulder blades when he starts to sputter. Yeah, let's take out choke entirely. He's not choking. Also, choking is like you don't like whack somebody on the back when they're choking. I mean, you can. It's just I don't know. I'm not sure a doctor would. Concussion, please. The doctor is speaking English now, but it seems like the words are arriving out of order. There's a delay while his praying. Yeah, let's go at it. Yeah, this is some real. Yeah, we're. Yeah, we just took out lag and put in delay there. Yeah, that doesn't. I like jangling pain right there. Yeah, I think we just got to take the whole. I wanted to get the word bile in there somewhere, but I don't think. I don't think it's gonna work. So a lot of this is passive. A nurse has arrived. And passive may be appropriate right here because like he is just like in this world of hurt and all these things are happening around him, but he's not like actively making these things happen. Maybe. I don't know. Let's keep a nurse has arrived. You can hear someone say the word disappear. They know. Okay. So Carl, let's start here. Concussion, please, still. The doctor is speaking English now, but the words are arriving out of order. There's a delay as his brain tries to reassemble them. It actually hurts to think, like putting weight on a sprained ankle. Carl has to shut his eyes against the jangling pain. There's a delay as his brain struggles to reassemble the sentences. I like that, yeah. Boom. Alright, and let's save all of the work that we've done here. It actually hurts to think, like putting weight on a sprained ankle. It actually hurts to think, as if he were putting weight on a sprain... Yeah, that's not better. It hurts to think, like putting weight on a sprained ankle. Carl's eyes begin to slide closed as the doctor cries out for a nurse. Yeah, we just got to get that Seinfeld reference in there to Velcro. I'm sure somebody will be like, hey, I remember that episode. Ugh. Ugh. Good God Almighty. Alright, what do we got here? Everyone in the ward is staring at him. Let's call it an emergency ward. Everyone in the emergency ward is staring at him through the constant ringing in his ears. Let's... not the right place for it. It's hard to make anything out. His ears won't stop ringing. Tinnitus. Carl tugs at the restraints. They're cinched tight. The overhead lights glare into his eyes. Carl has to get out of here before they can dope him up and drag him away to some government lab. The urge to vanish rises, but Carl is terrified. Yeah. I think what the fuck has to go. I love it, but I think we want to have that garbage man there. Yeah, I think we can just cut that. And then that should be he. Yeah, I think that's way cleaner than the way that we had it there. Okay. So, what are we at with time? I think the supermarket's probably open by now. And we put almost 3 hours into that. And how long is chapter 59? Avert your gaze, Sheeran. I think it's pretty short. It's 4 pages long. What do you think? Nah, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it today. So glad. Thank you so much, Bathy, for helping with that. We're pushing so far on that chapter. We're really trying to do something kind of fucking wacky, and I'm really glad to have a second set of eyes, or maybe like several sets of eyes that are constantly peeling open in different instances in a rippling 4-dimensional drug haze. That's so fuck. Yeah, because nobody was around yesterday, and I wound up editing this myself. And wait, I just saw an error. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. So 1,000. Yeah, we're down to like doing only like 1,000 words a day, honestly. I guess it's just kind of hard going at the moment. But 1,043. All right, so what the fuck is this? And that's 238. And then yeah, you can see me identifying it there. Flop limply. Wait, where was flop limply? Oh god. So 1,000 quality words are better than. All right, like, where is it? Yep, that's better. Yep, got it. All right, but I will agree 100%. I think it's so much better to do 1,000 words of quality work than to just like kind of half-ass it for 3,000, because ultimately we have to edit all this shit all over again. You know, like we may, if I'm happy enough with this, I may try to sell it to a major house, and then if that's the case, then we're gonna have to, you know, an editor who is much more on my ass than what we're getting with our YouTube audience here. So, you know, there's no escaping doing this the right way, and you can either do it like 5 times half-assed or 1 time right. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good spot. So the next chapter is maybe it's a maybe chapter, and there, you know, it's been a little hot second since we've had maybe in the story, and it's maybe on his own, which is always interesting to me. Like I find that character pretty interesting. Let me see. Yeah. I think it's fucking solid. All right, good work, and yeah, many tasks which need to get done today, and I hope everybody is successful in their own endeavors.